Ils sont en train de se voir. l'AFD là-bas, il y a un plateau de l'AFD. Pas l'Agora, notre plateau Agora. Non, il y a trois plateaux. Il y a France TV, il y a AFD, il y a tu vois, là où il y a de l'Arstanie, les tapis verts, il y a les sièges et les tables. Il y a le plateau télé. Il y a AFD, juste là. En fait, comme Félix TV, on parle à l'Agora, mais oui, ça peut être chez la radio. Le plateau Agora, enfin, où il y a le plateau Agora. Ouais, mais je sais que j'allais faire les photos de la
Ladies and gentlemen, the voting booths across the European Union are now officially closed, with some minor exceptions. Most member states have now communicated their provisional results. Madam President, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Europeans have cast their votes and the world's largest transnational democratic exercise has now concluded. The first projection of the seats in the next European Parliament is now ready. The results will still need to be certified and confirmed, a process that will take some time, but this is the first realistic picture of the 10th legislature of the European Parliament. A Parliament that will start working immediately. Already on Tuesday, the day after tomorrow, the political group leaders will come together for a first meeting of Parliament's Conference of Presidents, and there the group leaders will take stock of the results of the European elections with a view to the election of the next European Commission President and set out the roadmap for the constitution of the new Parliament. Over the coming weeks, political groups will need to be constituted and majorities will need to be formed in order to work on a political programme that will steer the direction of our Union for the coming years. In short, parliamentary work starts now. On the 16th of July, the new Parliament, the 10th legislature, will hold its inaugural session in Strasbourg. As President of this Parliament, I see these results today as a sign of trust from our people, for the Parliament to continue leading the European agenda for the coming 5 years, but also as a signal that we need to work even harder to reach people. Europe has voted, democracy is alive, and our Parliament will be one that is constructive and that will continue to work for all Europeans. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President. Now you will see the provisional results appear on the screen. So let me read them out. EPP 186, S&D 133, Renew 82, ECR 70, IND 60, Greens 53, the Left.
No. There is a discrepancy between what you said, John, and
No. Okay, sorry.
results.
Please take note of these results.
Fine.
EPP 186, S&D 133, Renew 82, ECR 70, IND 60, the Greens 53, the Left 36, non-attached members 50, others 50. And now, President will take 2 questions, as it was the case for the group leaders, and will also be for the Spitzenkandidat. And who would like to take this first question? Yeah, Francesca, please. Maybe give your name and your media also to all others.
Francesca Basso, Corriere della Sera. Madam President, are you concerned about the rise of the extreme right, and what do you think will be the impact on the European Parliament?
Can you repeat the second part of your question?
And what do you think will be the impact of, on the European Parliament?
Okay. So, first of all, thank you. The next Parliament will be made up of 720 members. We will, of course, take stock of the result and the numbers of the groups, which should be more or less confirmed in the screen behind Majaume any minute now. 2 things we need to do. First of all, understand how people voted, who they voted for, and also realize the responsibility that citizens place on their representatives. In the next 5 years, we will be adopting decisions not only of an institutional nature, as in the beginning of this mandate, but also on issues that have an impact on citizens' daily lives. This has been a campaign that has focused a lot on that, whether it was in a discussion of security, whether it was discussion on the rule of law, on climate, on competitiveness, agriculture. I can tell you housing featured in a number of countries. So this would, I think, will be a balance between the impact of the result, but also a responsibility of the groups to come together to form a majority. In this Parliament, it doesn't work with a government and an opposition, it works with majorities. We can see that the constructive pro-European centre has held, and it is that centre that will be projected to build on the European projects that we need to work with.
And now, second question now. I see Marek, please.
Hello, down here. The microphone is on?
Yes.
Perfect. Marek Majewski, German press agency, DPA. Do you think that gains by right and far-right parties is connected to the Qatargate scandal and the fact that trust in European democracy has suffered from it? And would you call on pro-European parties to support von der Leyen? Thank you.
So first of all, I am very proud of the reforms that we introduced specifically because this European Parliament faced a number of challenges at the end of 2022, but the response of the Parliament was immediate, that integral reforms that were long overdue needed to be introduced in order for us to build the firewalls and sound the alarm if something like that had to happen again. This new Parliament is equipped with those new reforms. It has reinforced its rules, the rules on integrity and accountability. If you talk about the different types of rules that we have adopted inside the Bureau and by the whole plenary, this Parliament is now more effective and more open. And I want to see that as having been the determining factor of the reason why people voted in these elections and looked to the European Parliament, because this Parliament will continue to provide solutions for the next 5 years. But the responsibility is also on all of us who want to work together to build. What do we mean by build? By building majorities to deliver the best for our citizens. Citizens want solutions from us. They want an effective Parliament. They want a Parliament that delivers. Group leaders will start to meet, I'm sure, as from tomorrow. As I said, the Conference of Presidents will meet on Tuesday. The results will be discussed, majorities will be found, and then we will take all the necessary decisions that we have, starting at the Strasbourg session in July. Thank you.
Thank you, President. So my colleagues in the divisional unit now have a card, an hemicycle, which is updated compared with the figures that I just mentioned. So I would like to ask my colleagues to publish this new card, this new hemicycle, and I will read out these new figures. Thank you. Voila. So these are the good figures now. Sorry about that. So the EPP 189, SND 135, Renew 80, ECR 72 now, IND 58, Greens 52, the Left 36, non-attached members 46, others 52. Voilà, these are the provisional results right now. As you know, we will update these results on the website during the next half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we will come back here also at 12:30 with a new projection. In the meantime, you can also check the results country by country on our results website. Thank you very much.
Good evening again. The citizens of the European Union have not only chosen who will represent them in the European Parliament, but they also have chosen who will head the European Commission over the next legislative term. I would therefore like to welcome to the stage the political parties' candidates for the presidency of the next European Commission. Allow me to welcome Ursula von der Leyen for the European People's Party.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will start with a short statement by the lead candidate, Ursula von der Leyen, and then we will have time for 2 questions. Madam President, you have the floor.
Good evening. Let me start by thanking the European voters who have participated in the European parliamentary elections for their trust. Today is a good day for the European People's Party. We won the European elections. We are by far the strongest party. We are the anchor of stability. And voters recognized our leadership during the last 5 years. Over the last weeks, I campaigned across Europe. I campaigned in 17 countries and 31 cities. I listened to worries and concerns, but everywhere I felt that the citizens really care about our union. And what I saw was a lot of confidence and trust in the European Union. I want also to thank all those in our EPP family in all our member states who worked so hard for this success. Now, this election has given us 2 messages. First, there remains a majority in the center for a strong Europe, and that is crucial for stability. In other words, the center is holding. But it is also true that the extremes on the left and on the right have gained support. And this is why the result comes with great responsibility for the parties in the center. We may differ on individual points, but we all have an interest in stability, and we all want a strong and effective Europe. So throughout my campaign, I've been working hard to build a broad and effective majority of pro-European forces. And this is why, as of tomorrow, we will be reaching out to the big political families that have formed the platform. This is SD and Renew. We have worked well together over the last 5 years. And therefore, we are now building on a constructive and proven relationship. I have always said that I want to build a broad majority for a strong Europe. I have demonstrated in my first mandate what a strong Europe can achieve. My aim is to continue on this path with those who are pro-European, pro-Ukraine, pro-rule of law, and as of tomorrow, this work starts again. To conclude, of course, this election does not take place in a vacuum. The world around us is in turmoil. Forces from the outside and from the inside are trying to destabilize our societies, and they are trying to weaken Europe. We will never let that happen. And that's why I fight every day for a strong Europe. And these election results show that the majority of Europeans want a strong Europe. So thank you very much for your attention, and long live Europe.
Thank you very much. We now come to the first question, which will go to Irene Sagardula from Greek TV.
Madam President, more gains and first place again for EPP. What does it mean for the next mandate? And secondly, are you confident that following the results, you can get the votes needed to have a second mandate? Thank you.
Yes. What means this result? It is about responsibility, indeed. And as I've said, we are the strongest party. We have achieved an overwhelming majority. But with this strong majority that we have, of course, comes the responsibility to initiate all the necessary steps to build a majority for a strong Europe. And this is what we're going to start to work on as of tomorrow. We have no time to lose. We have to build the bridges that are necessary, and we have to work together with those who are like-minded and who have the same goals as we and share our goals with them. So your second question, yes, I am confident, but of course I know that there's still a lot of hard work ahead of me. I'm happy to address this work. So, but I'm definitely confident what my running for a second mandate is concerned.
Thank you very much. Second and final question goes to Tom Baier from The Standard.
Good evening, Mrs. President. I'm here. I'm over here. Madam. Well, we have heard that you will invite the Social Democrats and the Liberals for talks. And 1 or 2 hours before, we have also heard the leader of the Green Group who made an appeal that they would be prepared to share the Green Deal and talks. So can you imagine that you make the new program on a broader basis as before? And a small second question, do you expect that the head of state in the next days will confirm that you will be nominated for a second mandate? Thank you.
Yes, indeed, there are two different tasks to master. The one is, of course, to gather a broad support in the European Council. Of course, it is the decision of the heads of state and government, but I'm confident that I can gather this support in the European Council. And looking at the European Parliament, as I said, the work starts as immediately in a first step to reach out to those with whom we have had the platform over the last 5 years. And this platform has worked well. It was reliable, it was constructive, it was effective. And this is why, in a first step, I'm going to be reaching out to SND and Renew. First things first, let me do this first step, and then let's discuss the second step.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. von der Leyen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, allow me to welcome on stage Nicolas Schmit for the Party of the European Socialists.
Alors, c'est où?
Nicolas Schmit for the Party of the European Socialists.
Good evening. The European citizens have spoken, and it was again a very strong democratic moment for Europe, a unique moment for Europe, a showcase of democracy worldwide. Now, the election results are more or less known. And I want to start by congratulating the party, EPP, and also the lead candidate of EPP, who has the first position in the next European Parliament. It is clear that for us, we are open to a strong cooperation with all democratic forces in this parliament. We have said it at the beginning and we continue saying it. As the second largest group that maintain more or less its number of members of this parliament, we are ready to negotiate an agreement for the next years to make Europe stronger, to make Europe more democratic, to make Europe more social and economically strong, but also to make Europe more secure. I also want to thank all those who have put their trust into the social democratic project. I think that they have a very strong belief in a united Europe built on democracy and on solidarity. I'm also very happy that now the democratic forces seem to find their way to unite, to work together. So there is no place, no possibility for us Social Democrats to have a cooperation with those who want to dismantle, who want to weaken this Europe we have built since several decades. Now it's up to us to give citizens a clear message, a strong message, a message of hope. We have clearly said this message of hope is about social Europe. It's about a Europe that is aware and puts into force a climate policy that prevents catastrophes, as we are seeing nearly permanently in Europe and all over the world. It's also a Europe that has a strong economy in the international competition, but an economy that works for people, an economy that pays fair wages, that has good working conditions, but also that is geared to innovation, and also a Europe that is a Europe of security. We live in a difficult environment, a geopolitical environment. We have a war in Europe. Europe needs to build up its security, and not only external, but also internal security. So we have to face a lot of challenges, and we have to do it now in a democratic way, in a way where parties, democratic parties, show their ability to face the challenges and find the solutions citizens expect from us. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have time for two questions. The first question goes to Andy Bounds from the Financial Times.
Hello. You've just outlined what you'd like to see from the next Commission mandate. If you don't get that from Ursula von der Leyen, will you not be supporting her for a second term, and does that not just leave her open to working with those to her right? Thanks.
Well, I think I heard very clearly the messages coming from Ursula von der Leyen. So I am absolutely aware and confident that there is a readiness to work together and to find the right compromises, but also the right solutions. I think everybody has got the message out of this election. And it is important that now we sit together and we work on a solid, strong program, a program that responds to people's expectations. So I do not want now to speculate on any negative outcome. I am confident that we are able together to find the way how we can govern Europe in a difficult time, and also in a time where expectations to this Parliament and to the future Commission are very high.
And for the second question, we have Philippe Jacques from Le Monde.
So you agree for this coalition to be created?
Excuse me. I did not hear you.
I was wondering if you asked Ursula von der Leyen to open the coalition to the Greens now.
Please a bit louder.
I wanted to know if you want to enlarge the current coalition to the Green Party.
Well, you know, the position of the Social Democrats is very clear. We are open to all democratic forces, as we are close to all those who want to dismantle Europe, be it ECR or ID. But all democratic forces, those who share the values of Europe, those who want to build a stronger Europe, we are open.
Thank you very much, Nicolas Schmit.
All right.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. No, unfortunately, Valérie Hayé for Renew Europe Now could not join us tonight. So we have now, and we are welcoming on stage Bas Eickhout for the European Green Party.
Good evening, good evening. Almost good night, I think. First of all, I would like to congratulate Ursula von der Leyen with a very good campaign and a very good result. She came on top again out of these elections, and of course that also means something for the process afterwards, what we can expect. That's now in the hands of the Council, but I do think that we have seen a democratic process where a lead candidate from the EPP has won the elections very clearly, and I think that also should be reflected in the discussions in the Council, and that is certainly congrats to her for that. For us as Greens, I will not tell you a secret that, of course, we are disappointed by the number of seats that we are getting. To be very fair, this is mainly because of losses we got in Germany and France. We did also have some very good results if you look throughout Europe. First of all, really congratulations to our Danish colleague who were beating the polls and became biggest in Denmark. But we had very good results in the Nordic countries as well. Of course, also quite happy what happened in the Netherlands, although that was last Thursday. But we also have new entrances for the Greens in Croatia, Slovenia, Latvia and Lithuania. And we're still hopeful also to get more in the south. And also there, the entrance of the Greens in Italy, of course, is good news for us. So in that sense, clearly not happy with the total number of seats, but happy with the different results, which also reflects a better representation of the Green movement throughout Europe. For the future process, it's going to be very clear. The Greens are going to take a constructive and responsible role in this. I think the challenges for Europe are too big to play political games. If you look at what the challenges for Europe are, if you look at the future of our climate policies, the future of European security, and certainly also the future of European democracy, it is very clear that we need a stable majority in this House in order to deliver for the citizens on these elements. And we as Greens are ready to take that responsibility, of course, depending on a potential programme. But I think it is very clear that we are ready to take that responsibility. I'll leave it to that.
Many thanks, Bas. We have questions in the room. We first go to Niels in ANP. Hi, Niels.
Hello, Mr. Eickhout. What do you think, in light of tonight's results, will be the fate of the Green Deal? Do you expect EPP and Renew turn greener since the elections are over now? And will this be the price for you supporting a new von der Leyen Commission?
Now, let me be very clear. The Green Deal was in 2019 a programme also for our future economy. And if you now look at what's happening in the world, where also China, the United States are stepping up their game in this global race for green innovation, I think the biggest mistake we would do is now to abandon the Green Deal. Also for our businesses, they want predictability. They want clarity for the long-term future. And with that, for us, it's also very clear that any future programme, the Green Deal should be part of that. But it's also very clear that more needs to happen, certainly for our industry. If you look at energy infrastructure, if you look at the resource scarcity, if you look at investments that are needed for Europe, I think the continuation of the Green Deal as part of a new green industrial strategy is certainly one of those elements that we are going to discuss. And I also think that the future of our industry is something that should unite also the pro-European centre parties in this European Parliament to work on.
Thank you. We'll take a question here. Yes.
Oui. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Lisa O'Carroll from The Guardian. Just a very general question. You've lost 20 seats. You've been pushed from 4th place to 6th place behind both the ECR and ID. The public have lost confidence, you could argue, in the Green Party and your allies. What do you say to that?
Could you repeat the last part? Sorry, the acoustics are horrible.
The public have voted and they seem to have lost confidence in the Greens. You're 6th after ECR and ID, which is not a good look for your policies, is it?
No, I think I already said that we were not happy with the election results on the numbers, but I do think that if you are only going to look at the number of seats, then you are not doing justice to those countries where the Greens have increased their strength and are now also entering the European Parliament. As I said, like countries like Croatia, Slovenia, Latvia, there we have new entrances of the Greens. And in Denmark, the Greens have become the biggest party in Denmark. So on the basis of that, you could say that in Denmark, they are expecting more green policies. I think it's a mixed bag of the results. We are absolutely not happy with the numbers that we are getting. But of course, if you now look at the challenges that we are having as Europe, I think what we need to do now is create a stable majority in the centre of the European Parliament. And I do think that in order to get to that stable majority, we will have to look also at the Greens. And I'm just saying that we are ready to take our responsibility for that. And of course, the loss of seats is always a blow also for us. But at the same time, we do see our gains in other countries as well. So let's try to translate this mixed picture into a solid programme for Europe for the future to deliver on greening and socialising Europe.
Thank you very much, Bas Eickhout. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we will welcome on stage Walter Baier for the Party of the European Left.
Good evening.
Good evening. Mr. Baier, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. The left has maintained its strength in this European election, this in an adverse atmosphere, and that means that we are in a position to continue to defend the values for which we fought in the electoral campaign. This is social justice. This is the right to affordable, decent, climate-adequate housing. This is the right for decent and secure jobs. This is the right to have to universally accessible public services. This is the right for a just transition to an ecological, sustainable economy. And this is the right of women for self-determination, for safe abortion. And last, and certainly not least, this is the right for peace. We have, in a number of countries, remarkably good results. We are particularly happy about that after a period of absence. The left in Italy comes back to the political scenery. We are proud about the results we have in Scandinavia and Northern Europe. And we are very happy about the results in Belgium. And there are other examples of a good showing of our party. it seems to be that there exists an agreement between the forces of the Grand Coalition, the European People's Party, the Social Democrats and Renew, to continue their alliance, their cooperation. We acknowledge this fact, of course, but it would be a severe mistake to misunderstand the outcome of the election as a carte blanche for continuing business as usual and to go back to the failed politics of austerity. I say this because these failed politics have created the breeding ground for the rise of the far right in a number of countries. I mentioned France, and I'm very unhappy about the fact that I also have to mention my home country, Austria, in which the FPÖ, which is a clearly neo-fascist party, managed to come out as the strongest party. As far as the left is concerned, we will continue opposing in the European Parliament anti-social neoliberal politics. At the same time, I want to be very clear on that we are available for any sort of progressive forces, for any sort of progressive reforms and cooperation with progressive forces which may yield to progress for the working people, for social and ecological sustainability, and for social equality. And in this way, we will try to work inside the European Parliament, but as well outside the European Parliament. Thank you for your attention.
And now we will take any questions as you want. Please.
Eddie Wax.
It's Eddie, right? Yes.
Save them from me. Hi, Eddie Wax from Politico. How do you view the rise of Sarah Wagenknecht's party in Germany? I mean, the Die Linke party has gone down. I think they're only going to get maybe 2 seats, but that party has done better than Die Linke. So what does that mean for the left?
I see the rise of the alliance Sarah Wagenknecht as one of the symptoms of the disillusionment of broad layers of the society with the current politics, with the politics of social degradation, with the politics of neoliberal downsizing of public services, particularly in the eastern part of Germany. But let me at the same time say that our member party is the Linke, and we are happy that they will be represented in the European Parliament and will be, of course, part of the left group.
Definitely won't be part of that group, right?
Pardon?
She won't be part of your group in the Parliament, right?
Die Linke?
No, Sarah Wagenknecht.
We don't know yet. Actually, the party has not decided on its political identity and also not on the alliances which it wants to join on the European level.
Any other question? Okay.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Baier.
Thank you very much.
So we have now finished the round of the lead candidates. We are expecting the next updates in a few minutes, around midnight. I thank you for your attention.
treba să dar pot să mă opun la astfel de proces.
Please, we have a new updated projection, which is based on 23 provisional or final results, including Belgium, estimate for Poland, France and Italy. Here is the updated hemicycle. Voilà, and this time is right. EPP 191, SD 135, Renew 83, ECR 71, IND 57, Greens 53, the Left 35, non-attached members 45, others 50. All national data will now be presented on the screen, and we will be here again with a new update of this hemicycle in more or less half an hour. Thank you very much. So as announced, we have an updated projection based on new results for Belgium, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Denmark, Germany, Hungary, Italy, the Netherlands, Poland, Slovenia and Sweden. Here is the updated hemicycle. So these are the latest figures for the EPP 189, for SND 135, for Renew 83, for ECR 72, for IND 58, for the Greens 53, the Left 35, non-attached members 45, others 50. And in a few minutes, we will also see the internal composition of political groups by national delegations on the screens. Delphine.
Tomorrow, we will hold a briefing here at 11 a.m. with the latest updates, and we will continue to update the results website until 3 a.m. and restart as of 8 a.m. This will then continue over the coming weeks so that everything is ready for the constitutive session of the next Parliament on the 16th of July in Strasbourg. There will be a first conference of presidents on Tuesday for a first assessment of the results of these European elections and the follow-up to them, including the first exchange of view on the election of the President of the Commission.
So this marks the end of our 2024 election night. I would like to thank all of you, members of the media, for all the great work you have been doing in informing citizens about this important European milestone. The election is over, but for the European Parliament, it is the beginning of the next legislature. Thank you again, and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.